I need a 30 for 30 to show that I'm different like Jordan and Pippen. I need a 30 for 30 like Jalen and Webber. Nobody gon' fuck on my click. I need a 30 for 30. What it is, folks, is your homeboy Ferg back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. I got my brothers here with me as always. JoJo. Hey,
what's happening, man?
We told the folks to send one up for you last week, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're taking care of yourself, man. Let the people know how you feeling.
Man, please do, man. Feeling good now, man. Look, people, it's still out here. It's still out here.
That's real. And if you know what he talking about COVID, people. He ain't bullshitting out here. All right, take care of your motherfucking self. T, what the business still, man?
All Black everything in all streaming platforms right now. Go get it. If you ain't got it, slap yourself 12 times.
You know already. T, what you got behind you today?
Man, I switched it up a little bit. I still kept X up there, but I got that too hard to swallow UGK. We're going back. And I got that Common B.
That's a classic.
On the end right here next to DMX, I got that Raphael Sadiq Instant Vintage. Instant Vintage. I think that's what it's called. I forget the name of this album, man. It's dope. Anything with Raphael Sadiq, it don't fucking matter. Listen to it. You either go get some pussy or some knowledge. 1 to 2. That's all I got for it.
Win.
Straight up. Hold on. Let me make sure I got it right. Instant Vintage. I got it right. It's been a long time since I listened to it.
Already.
But yeah.
Well, before we get into America, I gotta tell you, this is sponsored by Statement Tees. That Statement Tees, every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. And y'all see the statement I'm making right now. Juneteenth is approaching. You understand? And this is a Black-owned company. You understand? So we do all Black everything, just like my brother told you the EP says. And we will be celebrating on Juneteenth. So if you're trying to celebrate as well, make sure you're celebrating in a Statement Tee. And while I'm plugging Black businesses over in this motherfucker, I am drinking a concoction by After Six. That's After Six. They're the best in the business when it comes to bartending. They serve Mississippi and all surrounding areas. And I am drinking something they call the After Six mix right here. You understand? So hopefully I'm gonna get a little, a little buzz while we up here discussing these sports. I'm gonna be enjoying myself, and I hope y'all do the same. Y'all fuck with After Six. Follow them on social media and fuck with them for your bartending needs. You understand?
My friend didn't share that with us. I just want to put that on wax. By the way.
When we get together, my brothers know. they know when we get together, we post. They know
I didn't get no share.
When we get together, we post. So y'all,
I'm slick jealous. Jealous.
It'll be on deck. They tell me this a little bit of strawberry lemonade with some hen dog up in that bitch.
He didn't even vet the drink. He just got the drink because it looks so good.
That's what they telling me. It's strawberry lemonade with some hen dog in that bitch. So I already told my wife, if this bitch sneak up on me, she better be ready to wake up. Goddamn it! But
yeah, it is.
America, I am proud to have one of my goats here with me, and we about to discuss. So we're talking Black business, we're talking all Black everything. About to discuss some things when it comes to HBCUs versus these big schools. And, keeping that conversation going. Based off what we saw with Deion Sanders being on I Am Athlete again. We did a segment about it, talking about how Channing Crowder really called him out on just point blank period about not believing that the HBCUs can provide what these Power Fives and other big conference schools could do. So what I'm saying, one of my goats, one of my youngins, who one of my absolute best students ever. What I'm saying, we talk all the time about politics and culture and all that kind of thing. So he hit me up and I told him, hey man, how you feel about just coming on the show and talking about it? What I'm saying? So I think he will offer some great perspective. He keeps up with all these things. He loves sports. He's at a PWI right now, but as a student, what I'm saying, he's there as a scholar. But what I'm saying, we about to pull his coat and see how he feel about these athletes having to choose between the HBCUs and these big PWIs. But I'm gonna present to y'all none other than my young boy, Dillon Smith. What up, man?
What's up, everybody, man? What's going on?
Yo.
What up?
Now, if y'all really fuck with us for real, America, y'all remember when he made an appearance on here previously when he was trying to say that Antonio Brown was better historically than Jerry Rice. Y'all saw that my homeboy Moses had to check him on that. So
Don't do me like that, man.
Hopefully he ain't gonna come on here with this foolishness today. Okay, because we talking about some real shit. But I just gotta pull your coat on this, young, and want to get all y'all perspective on this. Here's a scenario. All right. Now, all of us, me and my brothers, we got sons. You know what I'm saying? My young boy, he ain't got no kids yet, but our sons are kids. My son got autism, of course. My brothers, they got younger sons. For the most part, Joe got a older boy. But we ain't got college age kids yet.
Right.
So here's a scenario. Your kid getting ready to go to college. He's a 4 or 5 star. In Mississippi, he'd be like a dandy dozen. That's the best 12 football players in our state. Okay? Everybody want them. What you gonna choose? Are you gonna choose the culture? Are you gonna choose to send them where the people gonna love them and wrap them in that blackness? You know what I'm saying? Send them to a guy like Prime. Say, hey, I know you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Who better than me? I know you. Or are you gonna choose the bag? Can we keep it 100 here on Put On Something? You saw they danced around that shit on I Am Athlete. You know what I'm saying? They talking about the dorm rooms and the damn training table. No, man. Where's the $250,000 bag? You know what I'm saying? Literally the bag of money show up. Where's the job for mama and paying mama bills and all that kind of shit? You know what I'm saying? So which one would you choose and why? Dillon, since you the guest, we're gonna start with you.
Man, I gotta say this is tough for me. Because
I know it is. This is Mr. Pro Black. This is one of my younger that's about his people now.
Yeah, I mean, to add some perspective, when I was coming out of high school in 2019, I was looking into places like Jackson State, Alcorn, and of course, I'm not an athlete, so I wasn't looking for like necessarily the best athletic program or something of that sort. But what I was looking for was where can I go that I feel like will give me the best opportunity to succeed while I'm there and post graduation, post degree, basically. So when I was looking, I started with Jackson State. I looked up the average cost of attendance, and then I went from Jackson State to Alcorn. And I basically started with my black schools first. You know, we all have family members that has went to Alcorn or Jackson State or Valley. So we all have those family members like pushing us to, go to the school that they went to. Yeah. And basically what I found was there was basically only a $1,500 more difference between so Mississippi State and Jackson State. I think the average cost of attendance at Jackson State was like $23,500, and like this was 2019 when I was doing my research. But now, but at Mississippi State, the same $23,500, you add $1,500 more dollars, and you can go to Mississippi State and get, in my opinion, the better education. And I had toured the campuses. I've been to Jackson State numerous times, and I did tour Mississippi State. And I mean, from what I seen, Mississippi State had more to offer me. We have a library here with it's a 4-story library with computers that's open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So you can come in all day long and do whatever you need to do and get your work done, get on your grind, get your stuff done. You basically don't even need a computer to go here because it's provided for you. So that is why I made my choice to come to Mississippi State. And so from an athlete's perspective, if I had a son, let's say that he was a 5-star, and like I said, this is tough for me because I want to support my black colleges. I want to see them succeed.
America, this man wants to be the first black senator from Mississippi since Reconstruction. That's how serious this man is about it. So you better watch this answer, because he's supposed to pull this back up on you.
Man.
Them boulders will pull it back up on you. But no pressure. Go ahead.
Man.
Go ahead.
He putting me in the corner, man.
No, we come on here. Put it on something.
I would say if I had a 5-star, PWI, they're a match, man. When it comes to getting to the next level, they're unmatched. It would be a lie to come on here and say that my son being in a program like Ohio State or Alabama or Ole Miss is equal to being at Alcorn or Jackson State or Valley. I mean, you haven't had greats come out of those schools since Jerry Rice was playing. And Steve McNair probably notably is the last one that I could probably remember. But as far as, man, the things that they can give my child while he's there, I think it's better, because these schools can afford to dump off, 2,000 here, 3,000 there, take care of him. But I'm going to take care of my own for sure. But what I'm saying is, anything that my child needs, if my child gets hurt, I know they got physical therapists on deck. Like it ain't nothing. Like, go in there, it's easy. Whereas in Jackson State, I'm not really sure that they can provide something like that. I'm not sure if Jackson State will have connections to the NFL scouts. Literally, Dak was just here last weekend. Dak Prescott was here last weekend at Mississippi State. So there are some connections there. It would be easy. Say if my son was a quarterback, he's a quarterback at Mississippi State, just giving a reference. It would be easy for him to link up with Dak and say, hey man, let's while you in town, man, let's go grab a workout. Or let's go do such and such. He can put him on game like that because it's all there. With Jackson State, who am I call? Who can I call
the
to
head
say
coach?
The
head coach is the greatest cornerback of all
now,
time.
man. If we really talking about it as of right now, Deion Sanders hasn't done anything at Jackson State yet.
He
Not yet.
Joe,
there's no shot. But he hasn't done anything.
We sensitive about last spring, man. We
love time, man.
Talk your talk, Dillon.
Look at him.
Look, he talking all that bull jive about, we got guys, we got dogs coming. But hey, you ain't did nothing yet. You ain't sent no kid to the league yet.
That's on the way. On the way.
It may be, but as of right now, is from what I see, I'm not gonna try to push my kid to go to the SWAC yet. Not right now. If I'm going to do what's best for him, I'll send him to Saban before I send him to Prime.
T, what you say, man?
And Bernie Mac will say, I'm gonna tell you a story. So here I am, high school senior, 24 on the ACT. Wanted to stay close to home because home is home for me. Got family that went to Jackson State, got family that went to Alcorn, and my cousin, who his mom worked at Jackson State, went to Southern. So I wanted to just check Southern out. Went to go check Southern out, and I fell in love with it. But I still gave Jackson State the nod because it was Jackson State. I wanted to go Jackson State. I wanted to be a part of that culture and everything. But the thing that turned me off was how they handled me, how they handled business. When I got a call and check up on you for paperwork, and when Southern Miss doesn't have to call me, or I don't have to call Southern Miss. Southern Miss just sends me a letter that says, we got your applications, we got your housing form, we got this, we got that. That to me spoke volumes because I didn't have to chase down nothing. So when we go to talking about culture and compensation, I felt well compensated by the fact that Southern Miss was involved in what I was trying to do being a first-time college kid. My parents don't have 4-year degrees, and just being a part of that. Now, that's where I drove my decision. It's a big decision either way it goes, but for me right now, I would say, and Jordan's 5, my boy, I would have to go right now with where are you being compensated best. There's no knock to the culture. My son will understand what's going on, who you are and what you are, and what being is. But at the end of the day, though, where are you going to be best taken care of? Because I don't want my son to be a 5-star and then not necessarily get taken care of the way that others do. Because if his drive and his desire is to be an NFL player, a pro talent, my wife asked me a question last week. She asked me, she said, why didn't Cam get pulled by Jackson State and Alcorn? Like, why didn't Cam Akers get sought after?
Cam Akers, America, if you don't know who you're talking about, he was a legend in where we from. Played for Clinton High School in Mississippi. Was the player of the year. Went on to Florida State. He's now currently running back for Los Angeles Rams.
The LA Rams.
All right.
So you had him at the time, and she was asking me that question, and I said, well, I truthfully don't know if any of the HBCUs would have gotten him that. Well, he was a second rounder. I think it was a second round nod, or at least the drum up of, hey, look, this guy here can be something at the next level. I don't know if he'd have got that at Jackson State or Alcorn.
Oh no, he was the number one running back in the country coming out of high school, though.
He was, but when you run behind that line, they're not gonna give you the nod. They're not gonna say, "Oh, his line was porous," and that's just why he wasn't what he was. But we know by the tape or by the combine or the workout that he is really truly that. They're not gonna give him that kind of nod. Like, think about it. Look at Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a first rounder. Him and Najee Harris were 1 and 2 in the country, if I'm not mistaken. But Najee is a first rounder. Cam is a second rounder. Granted, he went to Florida State. It was just like, well, how further would he have fallen? How further would have Cam fallen had he went to HBCU? I mean, would he have been able to come out after 3 years? I think it was 3 years, right? Would he have to play the whole 4?
He probably would have rushed for $2,500 a year.
Maybe. But my thing is, though, at this point, at the point and we're at right now. Now, you can ask me this question 5 years from now, and if Deion did what he's talking about, what he's been blowing for the last few months, if he changes the game truly, then yeah, it's a totally different conversation. But for right now, though, we talk about it. We talk about bags. We talk about what these kids are getting and what's being provided to them. And to me, I think, and I ain't just speaking for me, I'm just thinking about a lot of parents out there in the country. They want their kids to go where they're most comfortable, where they don't have to even look over the corner for anything. And I think that's just where we're at now. I think culture is great. It is great. It is what we would want ideally for our people, but the compensation part of it and what these kids are getting and what's being provided them and they're being taken care of, these parents don't have to worry about it. It's just second to none. I don't disagree with Dillon on that.
JoJo,
what you say, dog?
So, man, I was sitting here honestly like going back and forth on what I would actually, and T said something that kind of sparked my interest when he said that, once we get kids, we have this mindset of, I want to give my child what I didn't have.
Right.
But in me doing that, I've also learned by me having that mindset, I'm also not giving them what I did have. Mm-hmm. And like for me, the word no, that was a good thing. Because when I hear it, when I become an adult and I hear the word no, now I'm not a stranger to it. So now I know how to respond to it. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I probably wouldn't push him one way or the other. The only thing I would do was make sure that he does visit HBCU schools as well as PWI. And I think that's where we're kind of messing up. The fact that these high profile players are not even visiting the school.
But we
Like,
need you
at
to
least
put it on something though, Joe. Joe trying to
I'm
politic
getting there.
us.
No.
Okay,
No,
okay.
No,
my
hey,
bad.
I'm
getting
here.
there.
I'm here.
I'm getting there.
My bad. All right.
I would make sure that he visit both schools,
Mm-hmm.
and we would sit down and we're gonna have a talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let him know right now where the world is, probably going to the PWI, that is probably gonna lead you to the NFL or NBA or however you want to look at it. It's not right, but this is where we are. We can't act like, this is not, where we are. Down the line, it may change. Now, I think with Prime becoming a coach at a HBCU, and then we got Eddie George becoming a coach. I forgot what conference that is.
MEAC.
You know what I mean? As we get more, if we could push more high-profile athletes to become those coaches, I think it can change and exposure can happen for the HBCUs. But honestly, I probably would push them towards the PWI because I literally just seen Prime text about one of his players having a workout at 7:30 in the morning, and then he got to get dressed and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's tough for an athlete. Because let's just be honest, most athletes, they're not there for the education.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think as an athlete, how we see it, when we was at Southern Miss, the athletes got taken care of. Let's just put it that way. They got taken care of.
It's the same way now.
Yeah, they got taken care of. So I right now, I would push him towards it, but I would have him to visit those schools because I never know. We may have one way where we see something, but he may go to that HBCU school and see something. Hopefully it ain't a cute face and a cute shape that pulls him to the HBCU. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because be honest, I always say I made a great decision in choosing Southern Miss. Mm-hmm. But I do when I go to JSU games and stuff, I really feel like I missed something. Mm-hmm. Like I really do. I feel like I missed something. And it's that feel like I went to Jim Hill High School, and the spirit of that school, like when they talk about the spirit of a school, and I'm just saying for an all-black school, that's real. Like it's gravitating, like it will pull you. So honestly, getting back to what I was saying, yes, I probably would push him towards PWI, but I would make him visit HBCU schools at least.
Okay. Now, I've told y'all before Prime came here, I would send my child to HBCU. Now, of course, my son got autism, but my daughter says she don't want to play in the sport. She just want to play in the yard. She don't want to make it too serious. So I might have to wait for this.
That's gonna change, though.
That's gonna change. We'll see. But I would say HBCU. Now, y'all know this me talking with my third eye and thing like that. Y'all know I'm a political guy, former history teacher, and all that kind of stuff. I remember when they had the SEC teams playing and Trump was at the game and the crowd went crazy. Like just elated that Trump was at the game. So with that third eye, man, I'm thinking, damn, they love this motherfucker who hates the boys on the field running the ball. I think about when we were at Southern Miss and the racism we dealt with, like me going into the bathroom stall and seeing all niggas go home on that motherfucker. I think about how the same night the Gangster Disciples and the Vice Lord had a shootout, there was a black boy walking underneath. Y'all know what the team used to walk
the
before
stadium,
the game, the Eagle Walk.
Eagle Walk. Yeah.
It's a black guy walking under there, and they say some white boys pulled up alongside him in the truck, you know what I'm saying, with just hurling epithets at him and throwing shit at him. I think about when I was in high school, my brother Thaddeus Reed, who's an alum of Jackson State and a big time booster for Jackson State. Shout out PT. Jackson State played Southern Miss, and he went down there and just in the stands the white Southern Miss fans would just kept calling Jackson State that nigga school, that nigga school, that nigga school. But most of their team is black.
Right.
So I be thinking about all this kind of shit, and I look at it and just say these schools are using our black people. And I wouldn't want my child. I think I would say that would be the difference. All of us on here went to PWI. You know what I'm saying? We graduated Southern Miss. Dillon right now is at Mississippi State, but we didn't work for those schools. You know what I'm saying? We got the benefits of the education, all that kind of shit. But when you play for them, you working for them, and you are making these institutions richer.
Yeah.
And to me, they getting richer off the backs of people they don't even like. You know, I did a shout out previously with Nicole Hannah-Jones, who's a scholar, the author behind the 1619 Project, and how the University of North Carolina is shitting on her right now. The same North Carolina that's relevant in terms of just name reco off the top of your head because of black men. So I wouldn't want my child used in that way, especially if they that nice. And my child a 4 or 5 star, especially if they're a 5-star. And especially if we talking basketball. Maybe that I want to ask y'all that. Would your child playing basketball change your mind? This is why I'm saying that. The 5-star in basketball gonna spend several months at the school. Several months. Okay. Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, all these one and done guys spent several months at the school. And then after March Madness, it was a wrap. They didn't go to class no more. It wasn't nothing. So can we say Calipari got them to the league? Can we say Texas got Kevin Durant to the league? Can we say Coach K got Zion to the league? Or them motherfuckers went to the league anyway, even without the PWI. And they could have just they could have gone to HBCU, sold out. It would have raised ticket prices. The gyms would have been full. The coverage would have been crazy. And they would have made money for a place that actually loves them versus going and making money for these institutions that don't give a fuck about them. Because we just saw the little ball boy go overseas,
right,
and still come back and be what, number 3 in the draft?
Yeah, number 3.
So would that change it with y'all? I know football is different because they got that shitty ass rule where, but you gotta stay 3 years removed from your high school graduation. So if your child is nice in basketball, does that change the dynamic for y'all?
For me, now that you said that, now that I think about it, we all know that the NBA is considered the woke it's the woke version of the NFL. So the NBA is more they are more susceptible to, being diverse and things like that. We see what happened with the NFL with the kneeling and all of the owners, like Jerry Jones saying that we will stand for our flag and all that mess.
Don't let the NBA fool you. They had a rule that you had to stand as well. They kicked out a Mississippi legend, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He got blackballed from the league because he used to go in the back and pray instead of stand for the shit. Don't let the NBA fool you now.
So what you're saying is they kind of are still like the NFL in a way?
Oh, hell yeah. The NBA had a rule. The NFL didn't have no rule about standing. The NBA had a rule where you got to stand along the free throw line at attention, basically, or at a respectful manner. They had that rule. Notice the NBA players never knelt down until after George Floyd was murdered. Like for real, like in mass. Maybe it was some that may have knelt that I don't remember. I may have missed. But all that shit where all of them were kneeling down, they didn't do that shit till after George Floyd was murdered. They do a good job of putting like makeup on their bullshit over there.
Yeah, they're loud. They're loud with their diverse while they quiet with how they really want to run it. Pretty much.
Yeah, but
don't
let them fool you with that. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I probably need to read up on that a little bit more because I don't follow the NBA as much as I follow the NFL. But since my son could possibly be in there and then possibly out of there in a year, I would be more susceptible of him going to a place like Jackson State and hooping compared to North Carolina or to Duke or one of these big schools, because I still feel like in football is the ultimate team sport. Basketball, you can outshine, like you could will yourself, you can put yourself out there more with your individual play. So I feel like if he was a basketball player, I would definitely be more strong on him going to like Jackson State or Valley or Alcorn. For me, probably Jackson State. Than going to like Mississippi State or something or Ole Miss or so, because he could better put himself out there in on the court than he can in like football. So yeah, I'll be more susceptible.
Yeah, basketball would definitely be different for me because I know if he could go to a SWAC school and they win a SWAC championship, now they're 16th seed. Now he gets to go against this 1 seed, possibly put up 30 points, and that's going to shoot his stock through the roof. Because it's kind of like the whole Steph Curry at Davidson type deal. This small school, but this guy's going against all of these elite players, but he's still putting up 30 points. Hold on, he must be the truth.
But it's also, though, with his AAU, these boys be getting drafted to a large extent of what it did in AAU.
That's true.
Joel Embiid was injured at Kansas.
Yep.
But, you know what I'm saying? People knew that he was just incredible. Michael Porter Jr. was injured, but he was the number 1 guy off the AAU circuit and all that kind of stuff. There was another guy, like Kentucky's had a couple guys like that. They didn't do shit at Kentucky, but they were just so great on that AAU circuit and shit like that. Folks knew, no, this guy's talented. You know what I'm saying? And they just fucking let him go ahead and go to the league. So the NBA, that basketball is a little different. I think with that football, we talking grooming. For me, I would still say mine. Even in football, I would still, like I said, I wouldn't want to get used by these motherfuckers that hate them. But
now I would also, so we're basically talking about a problem that we have. You know me, I always try to provide a solution. Okay. I really think because let's just be real, like we've been saying this whole segment, these players that said PWI, these are players that grew up in the hood.
Thank you.
It's going to take a group of these guys to go to a SWAC school to make that shift for football, because it's going to take a group. Because you know
what it's going to take, JoJo?
What's that?
It's going to take guys like us being successful, and
money, because money talks. We know that.
Donate to these damn schools and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Giving them that bag, because that's what the PWI's got. They got boosters who are fucking dentists. And I remember we were at a summer league game, bro, a summer league basketball game. And America, we live in the Jackson metro area. All right. And in that area, there's the Maloney family. They got a big furniture franchise.
Cowboy Maloney.
Bro, one of them was at our summer league game with a pen and pad just writing down folks, because they were, I think, Mississippi State boost or Ole Miss boost or something like that. But like, that shit fun for them. That shit just something to do with their money. Like, to brag at the country club, like, yeah, I pulled that kid in type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to get like that with the black schools and be like, shit, be greasing these kids up, or they about to let them make it off their likeness. Shit, I can tell her, look, I'll pay you. You wear statement tees. Shit, I'll pay you. That kind of thing.
Okay, so Meek Mill and Jay-Z.
Thank you.
If you're gonna spend that money buying Robert Kraft,
hold on. Before you do it, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Meek Mill and Jay-Z. While you spending money buying Robert Kraft a vehicle that he can purchase on his own, y'all could become boosters at these SWAC schools. Go ahead, shove that money, pour that money into a SWAC school, and let's go ahead, let's get this thing rolling. And my son will be there.
That's real shit. Now, I know why they did it. They were probably greasing old boy. Old boy helped Meek Mill get out of jail, and he probably helped Hov with some business deal. But see, shit, if they can do that, Meek Mill made somebody what go over and beyond for like $20 on the street or something.
That's what I was just gonna say, because I ain't want to switch the topic, but you know the kids that stand out there selling water.
You
get them $20. but somebody who could buy their own vehicle, you like make it make sense for me, bro.
That's what we
Our
don't
mind, you know what, you right. Like seriously, our mindset has to change.
Right.
It has to.
It ain't gonna work otherwise. It ain't gonna work otherwise. If it ain't a full community collective thing, and because we talking about money, that damn thing here. Okay, at the end of the day, it's about that. Dillon, you a scholar. You give a fuck about the library. A 5-star defensive tackle ain't giving a fuck about what the library look like at Mississippi State, but he care about the fact that he can go down to the dealership in Starkville and somebody's gonna give him a car because he played for Mississippi State. That's what he care about.
Now, I have a question. You know,
Okay.
Me going to Velma Jackson and you going to what's the private school in Madison?
St. Joe.
St. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if you were an athlete at Jackson State, let's say you were Danny Dozen at Jackson. I'm sorry, at Velma Jackson, and rather than you being a Danny Dozen at the school you went to, St. Joe, would that influence where you decide to go to college? Because for me, at Velma Jackson, it's basically 100% black. So it's all my fault. I had never experienced any diversity until I got to college. But you being at a school like St. Joe, you've seen this diversity. So would you be more likely to say, well, I've tried out the diversity thing, you know, I don't like it as much, or I love more diversity. So would that influence where you would take your talents? Possibly.
Yeah, that's again, when we talking about these 4-5-star athletes, it's about their career. Their careers have already started, really. You know, when them boys are and girls, when they coming up through the ranks, they really got a career already. They got a social media following and all that kind of shit. Like, so in that sense, I wouldn't be giving a fuck about I want to go where the diversity and all that kind of stuff. I want to go, where am I going to be able to go? Can I show my ass there? Now you taking me back to when I was in high school. I didn't know the world was as fucked up back then.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I was a good student. I made all A's in history, but I didn't know the world was this fucked up until I got to college and started seeing racism like firsthand. Because at a place like St. Joe, I didn't experience the diversity you thinking, because I was one of the poorest motherfuckers at the school. Like, most of the kids were upper middle class. So the skin might be different, but the mindset was pretty much the same because these motherfuckers had money. You know what I'm saying? Southern Miss was a diverse place in terms of socioeconomic status and race and all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So from a scholarly standpoint, yeah, that would influence me. But from a hooping standpoint, if I had this mindset, like my brother PT, he had this mindset that I have right now. He had it in high school because he had OGs at Jackson State putting him on game by how fucked up the world was in terms of race relations. If I had his mind and if I was a 5-star back then, shit, it would have been HBCU. But now, to your point, it did hurt me being at a smaller school because I averaged 18 points a game my senior year and didn't get an offer.
Yeah, that was more where I was coming from. Like, being that you're like an all-black school, or you're not on the level as like, say, if you had an average 18 at Madison Central, how would you be looked at? You know, that's more where I was trying to get to.
That's
but
different.
yeah,
I should have averaged. I would assume, being at that small school, I should have averaged 30 then. You see what I'm saying? When you at a smaller school, if you supposed to be that shit, they expect you to go dumb. And I was in an equal opportunity offense. I told my brothers about this all the time. You went from the average 30 for my coach. You're gonna kick your ass if you out there shooting all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would have had to do, because a young man who went to St. Joe did average 30 and he got PWI. He went to Southern Miss. Gabe Watson.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And it's the same dynamic if these motherfuckers go to one of these smaller schools. Go to a HBCU. Go to goddamn Jack State, Alcorn. Go there. Go dumb. I believe they're going to draft. But you got to go dumb. Steve McNair went dumb down there. Jerry Rice went dumb at Valley. Lindsey Hunter went dumb at Jackson State. Like,
Jimmy
you
Smith.
got to go do work. Jimmy Smith, you got to go really like show, okay, my talent is here. They talent might be here. You got to show up with your numbers then. You can't go there and be average. I expect Shador not on my watch Sanders. I'm going to put on something, and then we going to go. I'm going to put on something right here. Shador going to have to make Mr. Glass look like a baby next year. What we saw Mr. Glass do this year for Alabama A&M. Shador got to go do stupid numbers to show, hey, y'all, this what it look like when a 4 or 5 star come down here. I put on a show. You want to put on a show and have the band and the girls that our culture go crazy around you? Come on down here to one of the HBCUs.
We'll see.
You're right. You definitely got to do that.
Look at this one. This one don't think he gonna do no numbers. We gonna
Nah,
get that's another segment in itself. Look at that head turn.
Wells, that's that Alcorn at him. He got on
the
purple shirt.
Alcorn
He got on a purple shirt right now.
We'll see.
America, y'all chime in. This is an interesting topic. We want to know if your child was a 4 or 5 star, boy or girl, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 star. Would you push them toward a HBCU or would you push them towards one of these large PWIs? Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit statementtees.llc.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.